Shalom Israel, and Shabbat Shalom, and pray that everybody has complete Shalom in the name of Yahuwah, the Most High Elohim. Today we're going to be talking about a very controversial subject, and it's a subject that is very controversial amongst our brethren in the Hebrew roots, Messianic, Israelite community, and it is the Creator's calendar. Now there's a lot of confusion out there as far as whether we should go by moon, whether it's sliver moon, conjunction moon, whether we should go by the ancient Hinal calendar, sundials. Well, today we're going to go ahead and we're going to clear that up today. And in the book of Yirmiyahu, or the book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, tells us to seek the ancient paths of Yahuwah. And us as being Bereans of Scripture, we must go back to the Scripture to search out that understanding and get away from the religious systems. And in the future, we're going to do a video about the history of the calendar, but today we're just going to give you a smidgen taste as far as what the Scriptures say. And of course, we don't just look at Scriptures alone, but we also look at the extra biblical books like the book of Enoch and the book of Jubilees. And I know a lot of you are probably questioning, well, I've never heard these books before. In a future video we'll explain that with you guys, but today we're just going to give you a smidgen taste of that. First off, we know that our Creator, Yahuwah, He's an Elohim of order. He's not the author of confusion. And what we're going to, for example, show you how many days in the calendar that we're going to go ahead and do. And I want to share with you, just to give you a smidgen taste, is in the book of Enoch, or Enoch, chapter 74, verse 12. We need to have ourselves a good foundation here, and this is a good foundation scripture right here. In 74 verse 12 it says, "And the sun and the stars bring in all the years exactly, so they do not advance or delay their position by a single day unto everlasting, but complete the years with perfect justice in 364 days." 364 days exact. It's an even number. You cannot have an odd number in there, because in all your feasts and all your Shabbats you're going to be completely out of order. And with Yahuwah's calendar, it's a fixed time. All his feasts are fixed. It's not like in our regular Gregorian calendar, or maybe Columbus Day might, or Thanksgiving Day might be in a different day, you know, every year. It's completely fixed. So the thing is, when studying the Scriptures, we have to get away from man's interpretation of things. We have to get away from the way that the world interprets things. We have to get away from the language of the world. What we have to get a clear understanding is the language of Yahuwah and how he puts things into perspective. Now, in the book of Yobelim, I'm going to turn to the book of Yobelim, chapter 6. And this book is also known as the Little Genesis. It's another account of Moshe. Moshe actually wrote this book. Let's see where we're going to start here. We're going to go ahead and start in verse 32. "And you shall command the children of Yisrael that they observe the years according to the reckoning, 364 days, and these shall constitute a complete year, and they shall not disturb its time from its days and from its festivals, for also fall out into them according to their witness, and they shall not leave out any day nor disturb any festivals. But if they neglect and do not observe them according to his command, then they shall disturb all their seasons, and the years shall be dislodged from this order, and they shall neglect their laws. And all the children of Yisrael shall forget, and shall not find the path of the years, shall forget the new months, and seasons, and Shabbatot, or Shabbats. And they shall go astray as to all the order of the years. For I know from this time on I shall declare to you, and it is not of my own devising, for the book is written before me, and on the tablets of the Shamayim, or the heavens, the vision of days is ordained, lest they forget the festivals of the covenant, and walk according to the festivals of the Gentiles, after their straying and after their ignorance. For there shall be those who shall assuredly make observations of the moon. Now it disturbs the seasons, and comes in from year to year 10 days too soon. For this reason the years shall come upon them, when they shall disturb the order, and make an abominable day, the day of witness, an unclean day, a feast day. And they shall confuse all the days, the Kodesh, or set apart, with the unclean, and the unclean day with the set up Kodesh, or set apart day. For they shall go astray as to the months, and the Shabbats, festivals, and Yobelim, or Jubilees. For this reason I command and witness to you, that you may witness to them, for after your death your children shall confuse them, so that they shall not make the year 364 days only. And for this reason they shall go astray to the new months and seasons and Shabbats and festivals, and they shall eat all kinds of blood with all kinds of flesh. Folks, we have an issue here, because in the Hebrew roots Messianic movement, they go by the moon, whether it's a sliver of the moon, whether it's a conjunction. And of course we know that there's one important feast day that goes by a sliver of the moon, which is Yom Teruah, or the Feast of Trumpets, because it's the only feast day that actually starts on the first day of the new month, the 7th month. And the thing is here is that we go back to verse 36. It says, for there are those who surely make observations of the moon. Now it disturbs the seasons and comes from year to year 10 days too soon. That is 354 days compared to the 364 days that we are to keep in the calendar. Because you're going to have an issue here, because how do you complete 364 days when you're 10 days too short? Well, what actually happens in the lunar calendar, because that's what most Jews today they use, is a lunar calendar, they have to add a 13th month every 3 years to make up those 10 days that they're missing. And so what it does is it disturbs their feasts. When they're going by noon, the moon, it disturbs their feasts. Now, in the Hebrew, it's Rosh Hodesh. Now, there's a lot of controversy about the meaning of Hodesh. Some say that it's moon. In the Strong's Concordance, it's going to say moon, but it's really month. Now, the word for moon in the Hebrew is Ya'arat. And an example of that is actually in Jericho, during the time of Yahushua's conquest, in the book of Joshua. You could read that in your own time. It's actually named after the moon. So we have a huge problem here, because we got people saying, oh, we have to go by the moon because Hodesh means moon, but yet in the Hebrew word for moon is Yarak. So we're calling it Rosh Hodesh when you should really be calling it Rosh Yarak, because of the fact that it's a new moon. And the month is Hodesh. It's Strong's H2320. So that's just disproving the fact that we should not be going by the moon at all. It messes up our seasons. It confuses everything. And we know for a fact that Yahuwah is an Elohim of order, and that he is not the author of confusion. And I suggest, when you get a chance, to read these books, in your own time. These are from the Hallelujah scriptures. You go online, order them. It's really good. Has the true names in there. I would recommend reading it for yourselves, because don't take everything that we say to be true. Do the research yourselves. It's not the times where you're going to get stoned for doing it wrong. That's between you and Yahuwah. So I bid you shalom. I pray that this video is useful, and there will be we're going to actually have a video coming up here, a display as far as how we keep the Hanakian calendar. Shalom in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach.
I'm here to support my brothers who we've been studying the Hanakian calendar together, and we know it's kind of controversial, and we're hoping that this video might help you come to an understanding of that and what we're trying to do here, as we're hoping that this video could actually unite the body of Messiah in believing on what we believe to think is a true calendar. This calendar predates Babylon, and even our Jewish brethren will tell you that their calendar is only 1100 years old and it's not divine. So I'd like to add some bullet points to maybe prompt you to think. For one thing, the moon does not give its own light, but it reflects or steals the light from the sun. I see that as a picture of what Satan does as he tries to steal the esteem from Yahuwah and from the Father. He's a copycat and he's a deceiver. The moon is a false light. The crescent is a pagan symbol, and it's on a number of pagan religious items. I can name quite a few, but you could do your own research. It's all over the place. The moon cannot be used to navigate. It's too erratic. There was a British mariner some time ago who tried to use the moon before they came up with a special compass, a nautical compass, and he kept running aground. That's what we do when we try to use the moon. The moon is used by Islam. The moon is for the creatures of night and the realm of nature. If you look at Tehillim, Psalms 104:19, and read the whole psalm in context, it's not really talking about the moon, but that the animals are alive or hunting or feeding and flourishing at night, because that's their time to do what they do. The term lunatic is derived from luna or moon. There's no such thing as a moon dial, but with a sundial you can tell time and seasons. The moon is associated with satanic worship for a reason. In Tehillim 81:3, at the new month, you have to see the notes, as my brother pointed out earlier, on Strong's in H2320, that Rosh Kadosh means beginning or head of the month, and the new moon should actually be Rosh Yarak. So it has a lot of people falsely looking towards the moon. As a matter of fact, Yahuwah sometimes referred to his people as stiff-necked, and I submit to you in pun that maybe it's because they were looking at the moon. A blood red moon, or tetrad, is a picture of sin for those who observe the moon, by using a pagan symbol to calibrate the feast of Yahuwah with. There is no such instruction given in all the Torah for us to use the moon to navigate or to decide or divide any time of feast. There's no mention of the moon in Torah. Moshe does not use the moon to calibrate the feast at all, to figure out the feast. In Bereshit 1:14, speaks of day and night, or light and darkness. It's the eternal battle of the cosmos. Sons of light and sons of darkness battle together. It's a picture of the calendar, in a sense. And it talks about the two great lights being the sun and the stars. I don't think the moon is a lesser light. I think the sun is. The moon is only present for 2 to 3 days tops as a full moon. The rest of the month, it's not really a factor, and people are going to govern their lives by it. I think they're making a big mistake. And we used to do the moon. So we're not trying to slam anybody here. We're trying to help you to see that maybe you should explore the ancient paths, as my brother previously mentioned. And we hope that the illustration other brother shows with the coins and how to understand the 4 intecalary days will also help you to understand the calendar. But we're going to be adding to this video, and we hope that it's going to berekah you in many ways. And I want to thank you for your time.
Shabbat Shalom, family. This is an attempt, with the help of Yahuwah, to understand the 4 intecalary days of Hanoch's calendar. We are reading from Hanoch, chapter 82. Blessed are the righteous. Blessed are all those who walk in the way of righteousness and do not sin like the sinners, in the numbering of all their days, in which the sun journeys in heaven, coming in and out, through the gates of heaven for 30 days, with the leaders of thousands of this order of stars, and with the 4 which are added and divided between the 4 seasons of the year, which lead them and appear with them on 4 days. Because of them men go wrong, and do not reckon them in the reckoning of the whole year. For men go wrong in respect of them, and do not know them exactly. For they belong in the reckoning of the year, and are truly recorded forever, 1 in the first gate, 1 in the third gate, 1 in the fourth gate, and 1 in the sixth gate. And the year is completed in 364 days. The account of it is true, and the recorded reckoning of it is exact, for the lights and the months, and the feasts, and the years and the days. Uriel showed me and inspired me, he to whom the Elohim of the whole created world gave commands about the host of heaven for me. And he has power in heaven, over night and day, to cause light to shine on men, the sun, the moon, and stars, and all the powers of heaven, which rotate in their orbits. And this is the Torah of the stars, which set in their places, at their times, at their feasts, and in their months. And these are the names of those who lead them, who keep watch, so they appear at their times, and in their orders, and in their months, and in their periods of rule, and in their positions. Their 4 leaders who divide the 4 parts of the year appear first, and after them the 12 leaders of the orders who divide the months and the years into 364 days, with the heads over thousands who separate the days. And for the 4 days that are added to them, there are the leaders who separate the 4 parts of the year. Hanok's calendar has 364 days. Every season has 91 days, which is 13 weeks, for a total of 52 weeks. The quarters represent 30-day months. The pennies represent a day, the intercalary days. We start off in the springtime with 30 days. 30 days. 31. 30 days. 30 days. 30 days. 1. 31. 30 days. 30 days. 31. 30 days. 30 days. 31. That's a year, 364 days, according to Hanok and according to Yovelim. Now when we reckon the year, we take these days, these seasonal days, there's 4 of them, and we add them to the beginning of our year. Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And that's how we get to Pesach. We've counted 14 days. We've used our 4 intecalary days. And when we're done reckoning the year, these 4 intecalary days are back in our year. So, the 4 leaders who divide. They're dividing the seasons, the 4 parts of the year, and the months and the years, and they are added. The 4 days that are added to them are the leaders who separate the 4 parts of the year. And that is how we understand the intercalary days of Hanok's calendar, and we will be happy to entertain any questions.